This character, Dronachari, is an important character that we are going to recover the lost traditions of Tamils through this. The original Tamil traditions that were in place would be revealed through this character called Dronachari. We would first list the attributes of him as depicted in Mahabarath. He is said to be a Brahmin. He studied in Gurukulam when he was in his youth. He is wearing white dress all the time. He is wearing a sacred thread. He is a guru, especially in martial arts. He is specially known for archery. Despite the known attributes of him as per epic Mahabharata, what was he actually? He was not a Brahmin as is understood today. That is, he was not a Jewish Brahmin who migrated to this land from Kasa region and Israel. The Brahmin title belongs to Tamils, which these invading Jews usurped. Buddha had ridiculed these Jews, saying that they are fake Brahmins and only Buddhists are the real Brahmins. It is the proof that the Brahmin title was looted from India by the invading Jews. If so, what the word Brahmin actually means? This title was bestowed upon the Siddha who attained higher wisdom. Even though this word originated from the Siddha who own over the five senses, that is, Periya plus Amanan, Peramanan, Piramanan, Brahmanan, Brahman. It is generally given to the people of wisdom. Who are the people of wisdom? We had Gurukulam education system started by Shiva about 20,000 years ago in Lemurian continent and terminated by Jewish invasion of Tamil land 1700 years ago, termed as Kalapirar invasion. The student joins the Gurukulam at the age of 6 and goes through rigorous studies for 18 years and graduates as a Brahmin. He learns all the 64 arts in this period, which includes various technological crafts and martial arts. There should have been specializations as per the individual choice, depending upon the profession they were to choose for their livelihood. Of the 18 years of education, there were 6 stages and each stage lasting for 3 years. Each stage was marked by a color of the dress the student wore. These colors are black, blue, green, red, yellow and white in that order. Why these colors were chosen? Education was compared to the dawn. Dawn is a process that renders the land from darkness to light. Similarly, education is the process that renders the students from the darkness of ignorance to the light of wisdom. These 6 colors are the colors of the dawn in sequential order. Hence, black is the color of ignorance and white is the color of wisdom. Each of the 6 stages has a symbolic goddess defined by Murugan Siddha. Black color symbolizes ignorance and bravery and its deity is Kali. Blue color symbolizes cosmos and its deity Neelambigai. Green color symbolizes agriculture and its deity Pachayamma. Red color symbolizes household and its deity is Illakumai, popularly called as Lakshmi. Golden yellow symbolizes prosperity and its deity is Kanagavalli or Matanki, both the names derived out of gold. White symbolizes wisdom and its deity is Saraswati. Thus, the students in the last stage of education would be wearing the white dress. Thus, the people who properly completed 18 years of study were called Brahmins and they wore white dress all their life, symbolizing their wisdom. These Brahmins were the innovators and creators of new crafts, arts and technologies, etc. In those times, Gurukulam educated people were a small portion of the population as Gurukul education was very strenuous. The rest of the population got its practical education like reading and writing and other matters from these Brahmins through their discourses.
அம்பலத்து ஆடுவான் அம்பலவாணன் சதானந்த தாண்டவமாடும் சிதம்பரநாதன் ஏன் ஆடுகிறான் உலகங்களும் கிரகங்களும் நட்சத்திரங்களும் சதா சுழல்கின்றன அணுக்கள் சுழல்கின்றன அண்டங்கள் ஆடுகின்றன உயிர் தாங்கியுள்ள உடம்பில் ரத்த ஓட்டமும் சதா சுழன்று கொண்டே இருக்கிறது.
As for Sanskrit Mahabharata, Drona was a poor person while Drupada was a prince and they were studying together. That means education was offered on equal footing for all students irrespective of their status in society. I said the Gurukulam educated Brahmins wore white dress. Who else wore white dress? The common people who attained 60 years of age, that is, the people of wisdom who attained Saraswati stage of life. What is Saraswati stage? In Tamil tradition, human life was divided into 7 stages. Taking the orbital rotation of the Jupiter around the Sun as a measure, each of the stage of life lasted for 12 years. These stages, along with their respective goddess and color, are listed in the table. The stages for women are Pedai, Pedumbai, Mangai, Madandai, Arivai, Terivai, Perilampen. The stages for men are Palahan, Vidalai, Kalai, Meeli, Maravon, Tiravon, Mudumahan. When man reaches 60 years of age, he enters Saraswati stage. This is the wisdom stage for the common man who gains practical wisdom through the lessons of life. Hereafter, he was supposed to wear white dress only. Thus, the students who enter Gurukulam at the age 6 leaves Gurukulam at the age 24 after 18 years of education and ready to start his married life. This stage is called Mangai for women and Kalai for men. This is in general about Gurukula education. Siddha Ayyappan ran such a hermitage about 1500 years ago, and that's why there are 18 steps to his temple, and that's why Kannisami is wearing black dress. Ayyappan is the existing proof of such a Gurukula education. Another example of the Gurukula system is the karate, where the specialization is graded by the color of the belt. Here, the students enter the Gurukulam like a sadhu with white belt and leaves the Gurukulam like a deadly warrior with a black belt. Tamil Siddha Bodhidharman introduced karate to Japan and kung fu to China, and this color gradation was also taken with him there. Understandably, the martial art color grading is opposite of the general education. In the general non-martial education, the student enters as a Kurud boy wearing black dress and leaves as a full and civilized man wearing white dress. After their Gurukul education, students take up professions based on the stream of specialization. Some opt to become blacksmiths, some as goldsmiths, some as carpenters, some as weavers, some as potters, some as sculptors, some as musicians, some as astrologers, some as astronomers, some as drama artists, some as military commanders, some as ministers, etc., among the whole list of professions. These people are highly learned and they were called technocrats. The ancient Tamil word for technocrat is asari. This word emerged in the following way. Asu means providing immediate solution. Ari means learn or learnt. Hence, asari means one who has learned to provide solution. This word asari gave rise to two words. Asari, asariyar, asiriyar, which means teacher. Asari, asari, which means technocrat. The asari title is equivalent to the DSc title, that is Doctor of Science, bestowed on highly skilled scientists of today. They were supposed to follow certain ethics and etiquettes. These etiquettes are called asaram. To put it simply, the etiquettes followed by the asari was called asaram. To give an example of an etiquette, these asari should not charge more as they were usually monopoly in their profession in the region of practice. Purananuru lines say, Kolvadum migai koladu, kodupadum kurai kodadu. It means that asari should neither charge more nor give less. Their professions were divine professions meant for service to public. They were highly respected in the society. Befitting the respect in the ancient society, they were supposed to wear a garland while in their professional duty, like this Bhagavata. The garland signifies their responsibility for the society. They were not to exploit the society through their specialized skills, and the garland glorifies them for the same. This garland, called as Poomalai, worn in proper way initially, as shown in the video clip. But the proper way of wearing hinders the work they were doing, as shown. Hence, it was changed to this style of wearing across the arm, as shown here. In the course of time, as suitable flowers weren't available all the times in a year and in all places, and as the flowers also drop out or dry out in the course of a day, leaving the thread called as poonul, which integrated the flowers into the garland visible, these technocrats were advised to wear only the thread called poonul instead of garland called poomalai. That is how the custom of wearing poonul by ancient technocrats emerged in Tamil society. That's how the sculptors, potters, goldsmiths, weavers, etc. developed a custom of wearing poonul. They wore it as a token of respect for the esteemed profession which helped the humanity. Though the custom of wearing poonul originated in this way, they then introduced further variants later, as in the following. The person wears 3 strands of thread before marriage, and he wears 6 strands of thread after the marriage, and When he becomes full leader of the family with one or more children, he wears 9 strands. Wearing punul is one of the asaram that the asari were to follow. The asari has to take bath every morning. He has to clean up the workplace. He has to offer puja for the forefathers called gods before starting his daily work. They have to wear punul while in duty. They have to demand just cost for their goods and services. They have to consider the services as divine to help the humanity rather than amassing wealth. These are the basic practices and ethics called asaram to be followed by every asari. The Jewish Brahmins who came into India learned that the asari had such a respect among the masses. The Jews always loot others' valuable belongings. They looted this asari title and called the learned among them as achari. They also looted the punul wearing custom from Tamil asari, and as the punul entices respect for the wearers, they made it their culture. That's how every Brahmin is wearing punul. That's how the Jewish Brahmin of 8th century called Shankar became Shankaracharya. The Acharya title and the Acharya surname of Jewish Brahmins originated this way. The ancient Tamil Brahmins were either black or brown. They were not white, but they were supposed to wear white dress. The invading Jews observed this cultural heritage, and as they were white in color, decided to fool Indians that they were born as Brahmin because of their good deeds in previous birth, and that's why they were white in color. The meaning is that they are to be respected just because of their birth alone. Being born as a white entitled them the Brahmin title to demand respect from the public. Common men should have fallen prey to this cheating. They also adapted the culture of wearing white dress from ancient Tamil Brahmins. We would now return to discuss Dronachari. Dronachari became a Brahmin as he went through 18 years of Gurukulam education. He did not get his Brahmin title by birth like the Jewish Brahmins, and Jewish Brahmins never existed in the times of Mahabarath. His area of specialization was blacksmithy. He specialized in the art of making weapons. Among them, he concentrated in making most efficient bows and arrows. The bows were made of metal, and even the bow strings were metal wires, which greatly enhances the target range. As he was the innovator of variety of bows, he had to be an expert in handling them. Thus, archery has to be obviously learned from people who make bows and arrows. Archery is a Tamil word, and Arjunan got his title name due to his expertise in archery. Dronachari was running a Gurukulam along with his foundry. It is in this Gurukulam that Arjunan, called as Arjun, learned such great expertise with bow and arrow. I would describe all about archery and Arjunan in my next video. Thus, Dronachari wasn't a Brahmin as is understood today, and he was a blacksmith who specialized in weaponry, specifically archery. As he was a great innovator and a blacksmith, he was called Asari. That is how Dronachari got his general title name Achari, and that is how he was wearing white dress, and that's how he was wearing punul. His first title was Drona, and we would soon discuss as to how he obtained that title. Before that, I am just reproducing what is written about his birth in Wiki page. The story of Drona's birth is related dramatically to the Mahabharata. Bharadwaja Rishi went with his companions to the Ganga river to perform his ablutions. There he was beheld by the beauty of a beautiful Apsara named Giridachi who had come to bathe. The sage was overcome by desire, causing him to produce semen involuntarily out of excitement. Bharadwaja Muni captured the semen in a vessel called Drona, and Dronacharya himself sprang from the semen thus preserved, and is the only recorded mythical human being who was created without a female egg, ovum. Isn't it a colossal nonsense? Sanskrit Mahabharata is filled with such numerous, disgusting nonsense. Sanskrit Mahabharata is not the pride of India. It is a shame for Indians. The vessel made of certain leaf was called Thonnai in Tamil. With the addition of Aryan R sound, Thonnai becomes Thronnai and hence Dronachari. The above description of his birth might suggest that Dronachari is a fictional character introduced by the Jewish Brahmins while translating from the Tamil version. But I think that Dronachari is a real character, while his son Ashwatthama only is a fictional character. The original title name Dronachari should have evolved in the following way. There are two Acharis in the court of Kauravas as per Sanskrit Mahabharata. One is Kripachari, the other is Dronachari. Kripachari became his title name as he belonged to the mountain. Kiri means mountain and Kripachari means Asari of the mountains. the Kaurava land. The Dronachari title name evolved as he originated from the ground called Tarai. Hence, Tarai in Asari should have been his title name. Tarai would be pronounced as Thra, and thus Tarai in Asari becomes Dronachari, which might have deformed to Dronachari. Dronachari should have been the name as found in the Tamil version, and these guys would have given the Tonnai based etymology while translating into Sanskrit, probably to distort history and to make fun of him. I would describe in my next video that Durubhadan is a fictional character. That means, as per Tamil version of Mahabarath, there was no enmity with Drupada, and hence Dronachari should have been living in the Pandava territory only, and there was no need for him to move to Kaurava territory at all. We have already proved that Pandavas and Kauravas were two different communities, and they weren't related by blood, contrary to the depiction in Sanskrit Mahabharata. Hence, Dronachari was with the Pandava camp only. The reason for my surmise shall be immediately obvious to you when I decipher Ashwathama, the said son of Dronachari. Ashwathama is the darling son of Dronachari according to Sanskrit Mahabharata. But I say that he is a fictional character introduced by the Jewish Brahmins. How? We shall establish it by decoding his title name. I am reproducing his birth story as is found in Wiki page. Ashwathama was a son of Dronachari and Kripi. Drona did many years of severe penance to please Lord Shiva in order to obtain a son who possessed the same valiance as Lord Shiva. Born a Chiranjeevi, Ashwathama was born with a gem in his forehead which gives him power over all living beings lower than humans. It protected him from hunger, thirst and fatigue. Kindly note the info that he was born with a gem on his forehead and the fact that he was a Chiranjeevi. What is it? Before tackling it, we would see how the wiki page treats the etymology of his name, and I am reproducing it as it is. According to the Mahabharata, Ashwathama means the horse voiced. It is so called because when he was born, he cried like a horse. It seems Ashwam means horse in Sanskrit, and hence Ashwathama is said to mean horse voiced. Can any child cry like a horse? What stupidity! But this is the standard and stupid theme that the Jewish Brahmins use while distorting history. Kindly remember that Indrajit was called Meghanathan as one of his attributes of him, as he was able to ascend above the clouds due to his Lahimam skill. Lahimam was one of the Panchama Siddhigal, that is, 5 superhuman skills he possessed through his yogic penance. That is why Indraloka is perceived to be among the clouds, as Indran is nothing but Indrajit, son of Ravana. But the Brahmins who destroyed Indrajit's original history claimed that he got the name Meghanathan as he cried like a thunder when he was born. Can any child cry like thunder? It's the same stupid theme everywhere. Thus, the name Ashwathama did not originate this way. Not only that, Ashwathama was a fictional character, he did not point to any fictional human even. Actually, a hermitage was metaphorized as a human and as a son of Dronachari. After all, Drona was a product of a hermitage and he was also running a Gurukulam. Ashwathama's name represented the primary Siddha hermitage in South India. Podihimalai hermitage should have been the one that Ashwathama represented. That hermitage was actually called Asivaga Thaiman. The hermitage culture spread from south to north and it spread from Sri Lanka to Tamil Nadu. Obviously, the primary Siddha hermitage of Tamil Nadu was situated at the south of Tamil Nadu during Mahabharata times. Thus, the name Ashwathama was an abbreviation of Asivaga Thaiman. Asivaga plus Thaiman, Asivaga Thaiman, Ashwathaman. Thaiman means motherland in Tamil. Asivaga Thaiman means the motherland of Asivagam. It was the original hermitage of Asivaga saints of ancient Tamil Nadu, where Dronachari obtained his Gurukul education. It was in Podihimalai that the great Siddha like Agathir lived and offered Gurukulam education in his times. For every Brahmin who got educated from the hermitage, it was very dear to him. It is this Podihimalai hermitage that was depicted as darling son of Dronachari. What is the proof for my interpretation? It is said that Ashwathama was born with a gem in his forehead called Sudamani in Tamil. What does this gem refer to? It refers to the third eye, which means enlightenment. It is the Siddha hermitage which gives birth to enlightenment, and hence my interpretation that Ashwatthama referred to the primary hermitage is absolutely valid. It is also stated that the gem in his forehead protected him from hunger, thirst, and fatigue. This again indirectly states the fact that Siddhas engage in penance for long periods of time without food and water. Bodhidharman meditated without food and water for 9 years. Kumbhakarnan did the same for 6 months at a time. Hence, Ashwatthama referred to the primary hermitage only. That primary hermitage was the motherland of Asivagam in ancient Tamil Nadu. Actually, the first motherland of Gurukulam was Merumalai, that is part of Kumari continent, now submerged under the sea. The second motherland of Asivagam was Kavadapuram in Sri Lankan region, where Murugan re-established it after the deluge, and it was he who coined the word Asivagam and formally launched this way of life. During or after Ramayana, it was re-established in Podigai Malai, most probably by Agathiyar. The other proof that it was actually the primary hermitage, metaphorized as the son of Dronachari, is this. When Yudhishthira refuses to lie, Bhima kills an elephant called Aswathama, and then Krishna asked Yudhishthira to say that Aswathama was killed. Actually, the primary symbol of Asivagam is elephant. That is why they chose to kill an elephant. This is another milestone that the Jewish Brahmins had left to prove that Aswathama actually referred to Asivaga Taiman. Ashvam meant horse in Sanskrit, and according to Mahabarath, Aswathama was named indeed after horse as stated above. In that case, they should have killed a horse named Aswathama and asked Yudhishthira to lie. Instead, they killed an elephant. The choice of elephant is the clue that the Jewish Brahmins left to decode history. These clues were left for posterity, for their own folks to comprehend history. There are numerous occasions that they left clues to decode real history. Kindly keep watching my videos and I would expound many such instances of the same. After all, the Jews gave lot of clues that Twin Tower was to be blown up by them in exactly the same way as it actually happened. That means that the Brahmins were very clear that Aswathama meant Asivaga Taiman. They also described him to be a Chiranjeevi, that is, living forever. Obviously, Podigai Malai is a hermitage for Siddhas even today, and most such hermitages continues to exist even today, like Kolli Malai, Chaduragiri, Velliyangiri, Parvadagiri, etc. Thus, the Chiranjeevi attribute is another irrefutable proof that Ashwatthama actually referred to the primary Siddha hermitage in Tamil Nadu, and that should be Podigai Malai hermitage, and it was also situated near Tirunelveli, the Kurukshetram of Mahabarath. Why did the Brahmins metaphorize this as a son of Dronachari? There are two reasons. First, to defame hermitages in a subtle way. The hermitages never looked for assistance from royalty. If anything was done to them, it was voluntary service by the kings. The Siddhas were also ascetics who disliked material possession. But in Mahabharata, Aswathama wanted and demanded royal patronage and was aspiring for material possessions. Secondly, Aswathama stood on the side of evil, that is Duryodhana, rather than on the side of Dharma. On the other hand, Siddhas were always on the side of Dharma. Hence, it was to defame in a subtle way that such a hermitage was metaphorized as the greedy Aswathama. The second reason was to record the historical truth that Saguni actually sent mercenaries to destroy the Podigai Malai hermitage. The Jews always envied Tamil's Siddha heritage. In all the history, they were keen on destroying Tamil's Siddha heritage. From 3rd century to 7th century AD, the Kalappiras, who were nothing but Jews, destroyed all such hermitages in Tamil land and brutally executed Siddhas to the tune of tens of thousands all over Tamil Nadu. The Aswathama character symbolizes the fact that Saguni actually destroyed Siddha hermitage of Podigai Malai during Mahabharata war. I have already established that Krishna studied in this hermitage in his youth, and it is all the more reason for Saguni to do this nasty act as Krishna was his main rival. He should have despised Krishna's intellectual caliber, which originated from this hermitage, and this hermitage was creating many such personalities. Though it was Saguni who destroyed the hermitage, they put the blame on Krishna by fabricating that Dronachari was with the Kauravas and Krishna used this trick to kill him. In fact, in all probability, Dronachari was with the Pandavas and Sagni should have killed him using this trick. In fact, only Kripachari was with Duryodhana. The name Kripachari originated from Kiri, meaning mountain, and Kauravas were the mountain people. Dronachari was with Pandavas. The name Dronachari originated from Tarai, meaning ground, and Pandavas were ground people doing agriculture. Hence, Dronachari was with the Pandavas and Kripachari was with the Kauravas. We have to study Mahabharata contextually to uncover the truth from the intended distortions. After all, it was translated from Tamil into Sanskrit by these very Jewish Brahmins. In essence, Dronachari was a blacksmith specializing in archery. He became a Brahmin as he graduated from the Gurukulam. He was a performing technocrat and hence was called Asari. The Achari title, Acharam etiquette, and Punul were looted from Tamils by Jewish Brahmins. Dronachari's son, Aswathama, was actually the Podihimale hermitage and not a human. During Mahabharat, it was destroyed by Saguni, and this information was used to kill Dronachari when he was unarmed and meditating.